इति नामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिमित्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं परम् आनन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for taking out your most valuable time to read here Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam as we do every day. So I just thought to have a change today. Instead of reading the Bhagavatam every day, which we read, we completed Canto 10, Chapter 29 yesterday. And we have the Gita Marathon going on, which means to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books as much as possible. And we take quantitative goals, like I'll do 50 Gitas or 100 or 200. ISKCON Global has a goal of 3.7 million. And we, as a small ISKCON Tampa team, has a drop of that, which is about 1,500 Bhagavad Gitas to distribute. And all of you are sincerely trying your very, very best. And Krishna is very, very grateful for every devotee who is trying to distribute in any shape and form. Thank you so much. His Grace Vashishika Prabhu was mentioning that we should also take more qualitative goals. And that means that I will this month read every hour, 1 hour every day, right? Or I will read the entire Bhagavad Gita, or I will read certain set of scripture like Canto 4, Canto 7, whatever. This is just some ideas, or I will memorize, like he has set up a goal to memorize chapter 7. So if anyone wants to take that challenge, I think some devotees in the kids class also took that challenge, which is great. Only 30 verses, right, Sampada? It's doable. Sampada is also joined. Thank you. It's very much doable. It's not hard, especially for all of you who are such wonderful Krishna conscious devotees. It's very doable. If we assume it can be done, it can be done. It's not hard. So today we will read chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita. And it may take a few days to read the entire chapter 7, which is entitled The Knowledge of the Absolute. So without further delay, let's begin. Bhagavad Gita Kinchadhita Ganga Jallava Kanika Pita Sakradeva Murari Samarchana Kriyeta Yamena Charcha. Anyone who reads even one word of Bhagavad Gita, anyone who talks about Krishna, Murari Charcha, anyone who takes little Ganges water, that person will not have to face Yamadutas. Na Kriyeta Yamena Charcha. Because that person will certainly go back home, back to Godhead. So let's read chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita, entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Maya Sakta Manah Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashraya Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Gyasasi Tat Shrinu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhicharana Aravind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Now hear, O son of Pritha, by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Purport. In the seventh chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the nature of Krishna consciousness is fully described. Krishna is full in all opulences, and how he manifests such opulences is described herein. Also, four kinds of fortunate people who become attached to Krishna and four kinds of unfortunate people who never take to Krishna are described in this chapter. In the first six chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, the living entity has been described as non-material spiritual soul, non-material spirit soul capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yoga. At the end of the sixth chapter, it has been clearly stated that the steady concentration of the mind upon Krishna, or in other words, Krishna consciousness, is the highest form of all the yoga. By concentrating one's mind upon Krishna, one is able to know the absolute truth completely, but not otherwise. Impersonal Brahma Jyoti or localized Paramatma realization is not perfect knowledge of the absolute truth because it is partial. Full and scientific knowledge is Krishna, and everything is revealed to the person in Krishna consciousness. In complete Krishna consciousness, one knows that Krishna is the ultimate knowledge beyond any doubts. Different types of yoga are only stepping stones on the path of Krishna consciousness. One who takes directly to Krishna consciousness automatically knows about Brahma Jyoti and Paramatma in full. By practice of Krishna consciousness yoga, one can know everything in full, namely the absolute truth, the living entities, the material nature, and their manifestations with paraphernalia. Maybe someone can read the rest of the purport so everyone gets a chance. Anyone would like to read the rest of the purport?
I can read Prabhuji. Hottest devotees, Dharam Pranam, all good to Srila Prabhupada. One should therefore begin yoga practice as directed in the last verse of the sorry last verse of the sixth chapter. Concentration of the mind upon Krishna, the Supreme, is made possibly by prescribed devotional service in 9 different forms, of which Sravanam is the first and most important. The Lord therefore says to Arjuna, Trinu, Srinu, Srinu, sorry, Srinu, or hear from me. No one can be a greater authority than Krishna, and therefore, by hearing from him, one receives the greatest opportunity to become a perfectly Krishna conscious person. One has therefore to learn from Krishna directly or from a pure devotee of Krishna and not from a non devotee upstart, puffed up with academic education. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the process of understanding Krishna, the Supreme Personal Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is described in the second chapter of the first canto as follows. Sravanam Sravatam Shak Katha Krishna Punna Sravana Kirtana Ridi Antastho Hi Abhodrani Vidunti Shrut Shatam নষ্ট প্রায়েষু অভদ্রেষু নিত্যম ভগবত সেবয়া ভগবতী উত্তম শ্লোকে ভক্তির ভবতী নষ্টেকি তদা রজস্তম ভাব কাম লোভ দয়াশ্চয়ে চেত এতে অনাভিদ্ধম স্থিতম সত্ত্বে প্রসীদতি এবাম প্রসন্নান মনস ভগবত ভক্তি যোগতা ভগবত তত্ত্ব বিজ্ঞানম মুক্ত সংঘর্ষ জায়তে বিদ্ধতে হৃদয় গ্রন্থি চিদন্তে সর্ব সময় কৃষ্ণাশিয়ন্তে চাস্য কর্মাণি দৃষ্ট এবা মন শৈবরে শৈরে To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus mental lusts and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Amashayam, Shamagram, understanding of the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam 1.2, 17, 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Back to Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Is everyone comfortable with reading chapter 7 today? So, most of you may have read this at some point in your life, or maybe multiple times, but this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. The more we read here repeatedly, the more we derive newer insights, newer realizations, and newer joy, newer enthusiasm in the path of Krishna consciousness. This chapter 7, which is like the middle section, begins here. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters, so first 6, middle 6, and the last 6. And the first 6 and the last 6 are like the sandwich, right? When we call a sandwich like cheese sandwich, or the cheese is the main thing, right? Or avocado sandwich, the avocado in between is the main thing, right? Or vegetable sandwich. So the inside is makes it what is a true substance. Mm. So the essence of Bhagavad Gita is, and the essence also is covered, right? Mm. Like, of course, other chapters are also important, but the essence is the Bhakti Yoga section, and which begins with chapter 7, and where Supreme Lord Krishna starts with this beautiful verse, and Bhakti begins with hearing, is it not? So Bhagavan Krishna Uvacha is saying, Mai Asakta Manah Partha, Mai Asakta, with full attachment, with mind. mm, with your mind, with your heart attached to me, O Partha, son of Pritha, Arjuna, Yogam Yunjan Madashraya, in full consciousness of me. Asamshayam Samagram Mam, Yatha Gyasasi Tat Shrinu. So the word Tat Shrinu is most critical here. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. The Navda Bhakti, the Bhakti, it begins with hearing. Mm. It is mentioned those ear holes which do not hear Krishna Katha are like the residence for snakes or the burrows. Mm. Because we have choice. Krishna has blessed us with these ears. Many people don't have that faculty, right? We have been blessed with these holes, right? So we should make full use of these holes by hearing about Krishna with attachment towards Krishna. Mm. His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj has written a book called Gita 3. Mm. And he elaborates what does holes means there. The first H starts for hear. Mm. That we must hear, because when we are hearing, and that too from whom? From bona fide authorities. Krishna is saying you hear from it's a descending process from the Guru Parampara, from pure Vaishnavas, from Srila Prabhupada's transcendental purports, right? So hearing broadens our horizon, right? Otherwise, whom are we hearing from is very important. Who was that mantra? Mm. So Kekai heard from mantra, and her love towards Lord Ram finished, correct? And she asked for the two benedictions. Mm. But on the other side, we see many examples, positive examples, when even apparently dacoits they heard from pure devotees like Narad Muni, they became pure devotees. So it's very important whom to hear from. So the O stands for observation, or observe, right? So when we hear scriptures, we see that also, right? We see that the words of scripture are actually the truth, and the words of so-called material world are not real truth. The material world says, live here happy forever. Who's living here happy forever? Everyone is going through so many challenges, right? And scriptures say that. But in that, so so that's very important. We start observing, we verify those paradigms, we verify our horizon, and we start to live by those, right? As you were talking, what's the use of hearing and observation? Like reflecting, it's kind of like we hear, we observe, uh, and then we must start to put that in practice, right? To live by those. And then what will happen? We'll experience that joy. We will experience that bliss. That yes, the process of Krishna consciousness is the right thing. It works. And I'm so grateful to be in the shelter of Guru, in the shelter of Vaishnavas, in Sadhu Sangha. And then the S of sharing will come. Mm. So that's the wholes, um, which is connected to the first part. To give a quick synopsis, which Prabhupada is giving here of chapter 7, the acronym is HEAD. Hmm. The acronym is HEAD, which I think I shared in the yes. So we can just in the picture also. So the first few verses talk about hearing, the first three verses. Then we will try to see how Krishna is in every aspect of life and getting that vision to see him everywhere. Devotee develops that vision. Mm. Then we have a choice. Some people accept Krishna. Who are those kind of people? Some people reject him. Who are those kind of people? And why do they do so? So Krishna does not push anyone upon himself upon anyone, right? And finally, we also see in the last 10 verses of this chapter 20, what is the difference between the supreme monotheism or the supreme Lord Krishna and polytheism, the different kinds of demigods, what is their nature, what is the destination, why do people worship them, etc., etc. This is the beginning of bhakti, understanding through hearing who am I, who is God, what's my relationship, what's the different elements. All that is shared in this wonderful chapter. So this verse primarily talks about hearing, and Prabhupada, we can see like how much hearing is important to Srila Prabhupada. Anytime the verse comes about hearing, Prabhupada gives a very detailed purport. Now here he's quoting 4 or 5 verses from Canto 1, Chapter 2, which are all connected to the effects. What happens when we hear Krishna Katha? Hmm? All the impurities are gone. We are situated in the pure goodness. Kama, Lobhaschaye, they're all gone, right? Sthitam Sattve Prasidati, you're situated in the pure goodness. Bhridyate Hriday Granthis. This Grantha, the Gita Grantha, Gita is called Grantha, right? it cuts the Hriday Granthi. It Chidyante. It destroys all the doubts. Mm. And all the bad karma, everything is destroyed. All the bad impurities, nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu. So this is the effect of one who sincerely hears. Therefore, Prabhupada is saying, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee can one understand. So such a critical and very, very important line. The more we hear about Krishna, from Krishna, that is the Bhagavad Gita, from his devotees in the Bhagavatam or the contemporary acharyas, we will feel great, great impact in our spiritual life. Anytime, we are feeling spiritually low, we should hear Krishna Katha. We will feel immediate difference. Immediate is that right? That shana also. That shana means that very moment, that very just, and I'm sure we all can relate whenever we hear the words of Srila Prabhupada genuinely, sincerely, through this, the HOLES, remember that HOLES, the HOLES acronym, not just hearing through the ear, we discussed that, but trying to contemplate, observe, contemplate, mananam, nididhyasanam, reflection, and then vandanam. So we discussed that also. The four stages of digesting. So not just through the ear, but through the mananam, through the heart, nididhyasanam, trying to put into practice. What is in it for me? How do I need to put it in my current situation? And vandanam, offering a prayer. So hearing has a lot of connections. And this is the way we cannot see God, we can hear God through or see God through our ears. Any other thoughts, comments in this particular text? This is the most important, or one of the very, very important text in this chapter.
Sure, Prabhuji. I just want to reiterate or repeat the very nicely explained, and then I heard from His Grace, our Pran Govinda Prabhuji, that Krishna is started talking to or telling to Arjuna from chapter 2, but he never asked Arjuna, Tos Srinu. Here he's telling the word Tos Srinu. Try to hear. That means from here it start the Bhakti Yoga. So make sure that whatever missing or not missing, try to hear from here at least. And second thing is that Mona Partho, not to hear, giving you mind also. So that is very, very important because it's starting the Bhakti Yoga. And Shamogram, the word used. So this is the total concept of Bhagavad Gita that he's going to give now. So he told me this, he told in his class that these three words Krishna used in this first sloka, starting in the first Bhakti Yoga chapter. Back to Guruji.
Thank you so much for sharing those two very important, thoughtful comments and insights. Yes, very nice. Okay, let's move on to text number 2. Anyone would like to read this?
Hare Krishna, can I read?
Please, Mataji.
Hare Krishna to everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jnanam te hamsa vijnan vignanam idham vaksayami asesataha. Yaj gnat yaj gnatva neha pyo nyaj gnatavyam avasistayate. Translation or purport, Prabhu? Should I go with purport?
No, you'll read both. It's yeah, from here.
From translation. Okay.
I
Translation.
shall.
Yeah. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Purport. Complete knowledge includes knowledge of the phenomenal world, the spirit behind it, and the source of both of them. This is transcendental knowledge. The Lord wants to explain the above mentioned system of knowledge because Arjuna is Krishna's confidential devotee and friend. In the beginning of the fourth chapter, this explanation was given by the Lord, and it is again confirmed here. Complete knowledge can be achieved only by the devotee of the Lord in disciplic succession directly from the Lord. Therefore, one should be intelligent enough to know the source of all knowledge, who is the cause of all causes and the only object for meditation in all types of yoga practice. When the cause of all causes becomes known, then everything knowable becomes known, and nothing remains unknown. The Vedas, Mundaka Upanishad, say, Kasmin yu Bhagavo Vishnate Sarvam Hidam Vijnatam Bhavati. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Reena Mataji, for reading this nice verse. So this again aligns with the theme of hearing, right? Hearing about Krishna. And the Supreme Lord is himself speaking this. The Supreme Lord is himself speaking a few things here, right? What is he speaking? That now I'm going to declare complete knowledge. So the word phenomenal and numinous, jnana, vijnana. So the word numinous, anyone knows the meaning? The word numinous? Anyone knows? The word here has come, the word.
I just opened the Google Prabhuji, having a strong religious or spiritual quality,
Okay.
indicating or suggesting the presence of a divinity.
Yes. So phenomenal, basically we can say two aspects, material and spiritual. So phenomenal here basically means material knowledge or material world, material creation, etc. Like he'll talk about Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayu, earth, water, fire. These are all material elements. But he's also going to talk about the transcendental or supernatural or Devi, right? So about his sweetness, his personality, supernatural or transcendental, divine, etc. So he's saying, I shall, remember, we have to memorize, right? This is a challenge. You have to memorize this verses also. So let's focus on the words to word also. Jnanam, right? Phenomenal knowledge, right? Jnana and Vijnana, right? Vijnana is transcendental knowledge. Vijnana also means practical knowledge or application knowledge in action. But here, Vijnana is referring to numinous knowledge. So phenomenal and numinous, or material or spiritual. Te hamsa vijnanam. I will give you this. Te ham. Sa means together, right? Idam vakshyami asheshataha. I will explain asheshataha. Shesha means I will leave something, right? Shesha means like this portion. Ashesha means no, nothing left. Nothing left. That means complete or full, right? So I'm going to give this knowledge, the phenomenal and the numinous, in full. Yagyatva neha bhunyo nyaj. Yagyatva. Having attained this knowledge. what will happen? Gyatavyam avashishyate. Yagyatva neha punyo nyat. The word is anyat. Anything more knowable, nothing further shall remain for you to know. That means one who knows about Krishna, and that's what Prabhupada is quoting from Mukunda Upanishad, the Vedas, the Mukunda, Kasmin u Bhagavo Vigyate Sarvam idam Vigyatam Bhavati. That means who knows Bhagavo Vigyate, one who knows Krishna, anyone who knows Krishna, Sarvam idam Vigyatam Bhavati iti. That person certainly knows everything, right? And the example is also given. When the cause of all causes becomes known, then everything knowable becomes known. So basically, who's the cause of all causes? Krishna, Govindam Adi Purusham, Sarva Karana Karanam. So in short, if we rephrase this line or paraphrase this, when we know Krishna, then everything knowable becomes known and nothing remains unknown. Now someone will say, does that mean that if I know Bhagavad Gita, I know all the physics formulas, all the mathematical calculations, all the how to treat maybe do a surgery to someone? What do you say? Because here it's mentioned nothing remains unknown, right?
So how to apply those knowledge in context of keeping the Lord in the center, we'll know.
Okay, very nice. Any other thoughts anyone has? Because sometimes some people say, oh, pure devotee means they should know everything. Everything means they should know what's the temperature in Alaska at this point, right? What's in anyone's pocket at this time, or like, so as Prabhu mentioned, basically it's in connection. In ultimately, what's the goal of human form of life? Right? What is real knowledge? That is known. Who am I? Who is God? What's my relationship with Him? And how to work on that. The Sambandha, Avideya, and Prayojan. That is the real stuff. Rest everything is secondary. If we know these three things, who am I? Who is God? What's my connection? That's real knowledge. Rest all is time pass. So, if we know Krishna through the bona fide process of hearing, then we know everything. And as mentioned here, complete knowledge can be achieved only by the devotee in the disciplic succession. In disciplic succession. Like Dhruv Maharaj, he was just a tiny boy. But when he served Krishna, then through the guidance of Narad Muni and direction in the disciplic succession, then all the knowledge was revealed. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. Right? We sing that. All the divine knowledge will be revealed when we serve the Vaishnava, serve the Guru. So, Yagyatva neha bhunyo gyatavyam avashishyate. So, anyone has memorized this verse? Anyone wants to recite one more, two more times so we can memorize it also? Somebody have to memorize 30 verses, right? Are you trying? Want to recite? Please
Sure,
recite.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. ज्ञानं तेऽहं सविज्ञानम् इदं वक्ष्यामि शेषतः यज्ञात्वा नेह भूयो अन्यज् ज्ञातव्यम् अवशिष्यते.
Very nice. Easy, right? Easy to remember. If we keep trying, it's not that hard. I think first one you already know, correct? We have memorized the first one. Maya asakta manah partha. So as we are reading, please try to memorize because we have a goal to achieve. We have a goal, right? We have a global goal. We have a qualitative goal for our own good. If you memorize, who is going to benefit the most? One's own self, right? Any other thoughts, comments in this particular text anyone has? In some other particular, like I think it was Jesus Christ who said, I have much more to say, but you don't have ears to hear. Because little did he preach, but he was crucified. This Christmas is coming. Interesting. So little did he preach, he was crucified. But here, Krishna is the right guru, Supreme Lord himself, and Arjuna is the right disciple. And here the Lord is saying, Yad gyatvaneha bhunyanyaj yatavyam avashishyate. There's nothing else. Idam vakshami asheshata. Nothing else will remain unknown for you. That means I'm sharing with you complete knowledge. Jnanam te saham vijnanam. Both numinous, phenomenal, and numinous, material and spiritual, both I'm sharing. I'm not hiding or concealing anything because this knowledge is very high. It's very, very high because it's like Arjuna was already in the like past his graduation. It's like he's learning PhD stuff. But in some other, books or religious books or spiritual books, we're talking about ABCD. So they are correct in their own way. Hmm. We respect them. Prabhupada gives the examples like a pocket dictionary and like a full Oxford dictionary. Pocket dictionary has some words, maybe 5,000, which are more often used. But the full big Oxford dictionary will have maybe 500,000 words and a lot more details about those words, their history, their etymology, and stuff like how to use, how not to use, what not. It will certainly contain those 5,000 and a lot more details, but the pocket dictionary will not have a lot of words, which the big, thick Oxford dictionary has. So that's the example given. Any other thoughts anyone has in this text one or two? Because Arjuna is confidential devotee and friend. This is also very critical. This knowledge is shared if we become a confidential devotee, right? We have to also become capable to receive knowledge from the superiors with humility, without pride, without challenging the authorities, without in a humble state of mind, trinadapi, then only the nectar will flow. If the glass is full, oh, I know better, I know what to do, I already know everything, then the nectar will not flow. Okay, if we are done, then we are done, right? If the glass is already full, then there is no more capacity to receive. So Arjuna was certainly a qualified student, and Lord Krishna was the most qualified, is the most qualified guru. Let's read the next verse, text 3. Anyone? Yes, Sampata, you want to try?
Text 3. Manusyanam sahasreshu kashid yatati siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kashin mam vedi tattvataha. Translation. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Do I read the purport too?
Yeah, it's a long purport. Maybe you can read the first one paragraph.
Purport. There are various grades of men, and out of many thousands, one may be sufficiently interested in transcendental realization to try to know what is the self, what is the body, and what is the absolute truth. Generally, mankind is simply engaged in the animal propensities, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, and hardly anyone is interested in transcendental knowledge. The first 6 chapters of the Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, the super self, and the process of realization by jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and discrimination of the self from matter. However, Krishna can be known only by persons who are in Krishna consciousness. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. Krishna is a supreme person, but at the same time, he is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. The yogis and jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. Although the greatest of the impersonalists, Sripad Sankaracharya, has admitted in the Gita commentary that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, his followers do not accept Krishna as such, for it is very difficult to know Krishna, even though one has transcendental realization of impersonal Brahman. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Anyone else wants to read the purport? Mataji's, a lot of devotees have joined today. Anyone wants to read or hasn't read yet?
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna, Prabhupada, I can read.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Yes. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. It is very difficult for the non-devotees to know him. Although non-devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy, they cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy, as the non-devotees class of men proclaim, then why do they take up the difficult path? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized persons without knowledge of bhakti may be easy. But when it is practiced factually according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.101, Shruti Smriti Puranadhi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Akincha Aikantika Harer Bhaktir Utpattaiva Kalpate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, and Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, I got moved the screen. Moved my bad. You can read, Mataji. You can complete the book.
Okay. Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. It is not possible for the Brahman realized personalist or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Muhyanti yet sureha, mam tu vedana kashana. No one knows me as I am, the Lord says. And if one does know him, then sa mahatma so durlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, one cannot know Krishna as he is. Tattvataha. Even though one is a great scholar or philosopher, only the pure devotees can know something of the inconceivable transcendental qualities in Krishna. His being the cause of all causes, his omnipotent and opulence, and his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees. He is the last word in Brahman realization. and the devotees alone can realize him as he is. Therefore, it is said, Ata Shri Krishna Namadhi na bhavet grahyam indriyaihi sevanmukhehi jihvadau swayam eva spuratyadaha. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.234. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sampada Mataji and Radha Vyarani Mataji. Mataji, you want to share? Radha Mataji, you want to share some insights, reflections, your realizations from this purport?
I understood, Prabhuji, a small thing that we have a few devotional service to Krishna by following the rules and regulations. Then, by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga, then only we can understand Krishna. Otherwise, with our own speculations and by reading scriptures and knowledge, we will get the knowledge, but we cannot understand Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
You are on mute if you are speaking. Are you
I'm done.
done? Or?
Yes, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay,
Prabhuji.
okay. Thank you so much. Yes, Sampada Mataji, you have any thoughts?
I think that the verse is telling us that it is very rare to get to this spirituality path or like Krishna consciousness path. So like we need to understand that all of us who are in this Krishna consciousness movement, that we are very, very, very fortunate that we have been given this association of devotees and the opportunity to serve all the devotees and Krishna himself. So we need to be very fortunate, and we need to think that we are fortunate, and we need to be grateful about this, because like it's really rare. Out of thousands and thousands and millions of people, we have been chosen by Krishna. That's what I think.
Wow, thank you. That's certainly very, very true. Manushyanam Sahasreshu. What does Sahasra mean? Anyone knows? What's the Sahasra mean?
1,000.
1,000, yes. The plural is used. Sahasreshu. Is it not? So I'll share my screen. Let's see, look at this here. Rarity of a pure devotee. So first of all, we're talking about phenomenal and numinous creation, right? So we know that the material world is 1/4 of the total creation. Now in the material world, there are so many different 8.4 million species, 9 lakh or 900,000 fishes, trees and plants, 2 million insects and reptiles, 1.1 million birds, 1 million animals, 3 million, and humans, then the remaining 400,000. Now, in the 400,000 human species, there are Aryans, or called civilized and non-civilized. They are righteous and unrighteous. In the righteous, we have the fruitive workers, karma kanda, right, and those who don't believe in the karma kanda. In the fruitive workers, we also have some who are searching for absolute, and something who are just sometime do good, sometime do bad. Now, in this further brings it here, right? Because there's don't know much space there. So those who are searching for absolute, they don't want moksha and they want moksha, or then those who want moksha, they believe in Lord Krishna, believe in demigods, believe in looking for siddhis. Those who believe in Lord Krishna also, they want to go back home, back to Godhead, or some are with adulterated, right? Puja, la, pratishtha, name, fame, recognition, known. And in that, some are those who really want to take it. This is very, very rare human form of life. I want to practice bhakti seriously here and now and today. And there are those maybe take it easy. Life is abhi to itni bhi jaldi kya hai. We will do someday. Not now. Maybe in some lifetime we'll go. So it's very rare. In short, this is just a kind of some visuals or to help us understand how rare is bhakti. So what's the Manushyana? That's the first word, right? Sahasreshu, out of thousands and thousands. So out of, let's maybe do one. So we are at second verse. So what is out of humans, you can say, Manushas, let's say 100,000. Just I'm putting some number, right? So out of many, many thousands of humans, what happens? Someone takes to the next step. What is the next step? As per this verse of Bhagavad Gita, which we are reading, what is the next step here? Kaschid yatati siddhaye. What's the next step?
Siddhi.
Kaschid yatati. Endeavor for perfection. It's not like the literal siddha here means perfection. So it's not that siddhi literally. In short, basically, they only few endeavor for perfection.
So,
That's
Prabhuji, my understanding of the Siddhi, like who wants to be Logima, Gorima, those type of, those are, that my understanding might be wrong.
Let's see the translation. Out of many, many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. Right? So basically, the point is perfection is like they try to attain something higher, right? As we discussed, if we go back to this chart again, right? There are these, these are the human species. Now we can say even those who search for the absolute, it's like a lot of branches. The people, so many have been already branched out, right? I mean, in the first branch itself, only 1% will be trying to follow civilized. The rest 99% are following this branch. Out of this branch, let's say 10% go here out of 100, right? 10% go. Then even in this, 5 here gone, 5 here gone, right? Even in this, like majority is in the lower branch, you see? Out of this 5, the other like 3 gone here, maybe 2, and then maybe only 1 goes here out of 100. So now, these are the ones who are trying for perfection, right? Or searching for absolute, but again, further branching. So you see, so some get to this point, but those who get to this point also, those who are endeavoring, and those who have achieved perfection, only one knows in truth. So as you said, it could also include siddhis, as we discussed here, right? Looking for siddhis is also a kind of here, right? They're looking for siddhis. They want God, but to boast about siddhis. So this was, I think, I don't remember. I made it way back. Of course, I heard it in a class and made this. It really helps to get a good understanding of this verse. Is that okay, Prabhu? Does that help?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So endeavoring for perfection. And those who are endeavoring for perfection, yatatam api siddhanam. Yatana. Yatana means to try. endeavor. Yatati. One knows me in truth. Out of thousands, let's say if 1 billion people are trying, maybe 1 million get to this stage, and only one of those, the bhakti is so rare. Hardly one knows me. Kaschin mam veti tatvatah. Tatvatah. Tatvatah means in fact. Not like Brahmajyoti, not Nirvana, not this, not that. Like Govindamadi Purusham. This is the complete, supreme, spiritual, absolute, supreme personality of Godhead. Knowing that Tattva is very, very rare. Even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, a very similar verse comes. Text 6.4.14. Very, very similar verse. Muktanam api siddhanam Narayana Parayana Sudurlabha Prashantatma Kotish Api Mahamuni. So same words are used here as we see. Kaschin Mamiti Tatvata, and here is Kotish Api Mahamuni. Oh great sage, among millions, many, many millions of liberated, those who are liberated and perfect in knowledge of liberation, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayan or Krishna. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare. Very, very similar verse. So in short, this is just explaining the rarity of this pure devotee who is 100% Krishna conscious, is now, here, now, present, is very, very rare. Any thoughts, comments, additions anyone has? Is it all like, are you able to like comprehend and connect everything? These three verses which we focused today were connected to the head, the first edge of hearing from bona fide source. When we hear about Krishna, we get to know about Krishna, and we know Krishna, we know everything, nothing else to be remain unknown. We discuss the wholes, we discuss the rarity of a pure devotee, thousands and millions and millions. We have taken so many lifetimes, we have got this human form, and not just the human form. Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavana Jiva. In this Brahman, there are so many people are revolving around the cycle of Bhakti Lata Bija, Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. When rare soul receives this mercy, and we are that fortunate being. So we are so, so, so fortunate. We cannot count our good fortune. In the prayers also, in the Bhuta Shuddhi prayers also, it is, we read, due to some unimaginable good fortune, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we have received this chance to render bhakti. So let's make the most. If someone receives, giving a mundane example now, if someone receives a $10 million lottery, but now they don't know how to use it, or they don't have any idea about it, will say, oh Baba, such foolishness, right? They have $10 million, but they don't know how to properly use it, or they have lost the ticket. We'll say, Baba, like fool number one, right? Now, $10 million is nothing compared to the jewel of pure bhakti, which we have the chance to, we have the rare human form of life. It is millions and millions of dollars cannot, if someone gives us $10 million, will we give? Will we give our hand, our eyes, our nose? Will we give? We not give, right? Because it's so precious, right? It's so precious. We have received that precious chance. We have received the connection to Guru Parampara. Now it's up to us if we can take full advantage of it by hearing, by reading, by sharing, HOLES, observing, living, experiencing, and sharing, then this hearing will become perfect. And it will not be just head deep, but it will become heart deep. Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts, comments, questions before we wrap up? Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Bhagavad Gita Upanishad ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktarinda ki jai, Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namah. And those who like to memorize, so first 3 verses, please memorize and share with others also to memorize. The goal is to memorize 30. So if you already know the first 3, then move to the next 3, next 5, whatever. We all have to memorize this 30 verses, right? It's a challenge. Not by me. Shishika Prabhu has given this spiritual challenge. So take it. Let's take it. Let's boldly take it. And Krishna will help. Guru will help. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.